All right, so try this again. This my connection's been so bad tonight that this has kind of been impossible. Um, but I give it a little bit of time, and I'm going to see if I can get through a little bit of this. I think this is a little bit. This stuff's a little bit too important to be kind of just messing with, so I kind of wanted to get. Kind of want to do this a little bit. Do it right. So start this off here real quick. Let's I don't know why I shared that screen because that's not the one I need to share to start this. But we're going to go into a little bit of the video as far as you know what, and I got to share the audio on that. I didn't share audio. Go into a little bit of the video of the New York Times, and that's going to have a little bit of relevance. I mean, not much, but somewhat to what we have as far as this photograph that's basically going to start this whole thing off. Now, wait, what is going? Oh, okay, that's weird. I don't know what's going on, man. This is crazy. The all night I've been having issues with this damn thing, but I want to go back in a little bit of this, and the reason I want to do that is because, like I said, I think this does play a little bit of relevance into this. When we see him drop his car off right here, I do believe this is the 25th. It's hard to see in the bottom there, but it does look like it's probably legitimate, the 25th. But let's just take a little look here and see what gets put on this cart right here.
The luggage cart with 5 suitcases. Paddock asks to stay with his luggage, so the bellman brings him through the service elevators to his room, something hotel management say is not unusual.
All right, so to me, this looks like it's taken out of order, and I'm guessing that's probably what happened here. Going back into the footage of him at the car here, I said I do kind of believe that this is probably the 25th. As you watch the car get wheeled along there,
Paddock asks to stay with his luggage, so the bellman brings him through the service elevators to his room.
What is actually on that cart?
Something
trying to talk over audio. It definitely doesn't look like the same cart that this guy wheeled in. So I'm guessing this footage is from different days as far as that goes.
Hotel management say
is not unusual. That caused a little bit of confusion, a little bit of the problem.
Paddock spends the next 4 hours.
So that guy there does not look like the guy we're about to see in the report itself. So I just want to get that out of the way just to be a little bit thorough with things. And I got a couple different things up here. So, okay, that's the one. All right, so this is a report. And this is what we got on the report. So that character there does not look like the same dude that was in the what we just saw, the video we just saw. Doesn't look like the same guy. And that almost looks like the same guy in both of those photos, but that does not look like the same cart in both those photos. Now, I could be wrong, but to me, no. That ain't the same day, or it ain't the same cart. Got something hanging off on one side and ain't got it hanging off on the other. Got some maybe laptop bag. Don't know. Got the ice chest there with what looks like a long bag, you know. Looks like probably that big blue duffel bag on the cart to the right. On the left, that ain't there. So to me, these are two different times, two different carts. Of course, yeah, and on the right, Paddock doesn't have the carry-on or the one he's carrying. Does look like he's wearing the same shirt. So to all you people saying that he wears the same damn shirt every day, it does look like he's wearing the same shirt in these photos. And honestly, I mean, I know it's all perspective, man, but the Paddock in the left It's a hell of a lot bigger than the paddock on the right, but that's just perspective. That's because the way these photos were taken and edited. So anyway, the problem with that is we are right here looking at the 25th, and we already went through yesterday. I went through a little bit of his check-in, the madness with the check-in. So there's that. Now it says he ate at Mizuyu Sushi. That's also going to be something to figure out. But on 25th, yeah, I don't know if these are photos from 25th. One of these photos from 25th. Two of them are photos from 25th. The 5 bags on that thing we just watched, if that's accurate, I don't fucking know. Because this is stupid. The way they put this together, these photos don't belong here. At least not both of them. It's kind of misleading, causes issues. I guess this report was not meant for heavy scrutiny, and that's, I think, the problem we're having, is that we are heavily scrutinizing this stuff at this point. But yeah, this report is very sloppy. It was put together pretty badly, and a lot of this information just doesn't fit. But so where we're at here is from about 9:37 to 9:40. Paddock had retrieved his vehicle from the valet, and Paddock left Mandalay Bay. So where we left off here was he went up into his room at what is this? This is almost 5 o'clock, and then it looks like he boned out at what is this? This is 9:30. So he's up there for a little bit, and I don't want to go back and forth through this again. I did that earlier, and of course I had to delete it. So you're just going to have to take my word on it. There were no searches done that day in the report. Nothing that was written down in the report. It was done on the 25th, in the at least in the preliminary that I've read already. There were no searches done from the room. So what he did in that room from that time, who knows? Who the fuck knows? So we can verify a little bit of this. This is verifiable through the lock interrogation reports. And let me pull that up. All right, so lock interrogation reports for the this is 26. You got 25th at the bottom. Let's go to the page before this, because like I said, I've already gone through this already. All right, so what we got a check in here. The events that have been lost. Kind of explain what I feel those were yesterday on the last video I did of this. Sorry. All right, so I feel like kind of explained that already. Don't want to go back through that. So he closed the door at 3:56. He actually left, right? So deadbolt released, doors closed. Left, went back downstairs. That checks out with them saying that, let's see. So at 4:56, Bellman met Paddock and escorted him to the room. Okay, so we're actually before that. At 15:33, Paddock checked into room. Oh, man. Is this lagging out again? Am I still having problems? I am. Damn it. Yeah, I'm still having issues. Fuck, man. Fuck is going on? Just today, man. This has been really bad today. Let me see if this is any better. Give me a sec, man. This has been the day. This is why I've redone this a couple times. This is messed up. All right, let's get in there. Okay. You gotta be kidding me, man, with this stuff. All right, well, let me see where I'm at here. All right. So what we're looking at here is 15:33, Paddock checked into room 32135. All right, so what, 3:33 in the afternoon we're looking for. And then again at 4:56, right? It's almost 5 o'clock. It's about, what, an hour and a half, give or take. Bellman met Paddock and escorted him to room 135. All right, so he did have about an hour and a half there. It is possible that if he did go to this Mizuya Sushi on this day, because in the footage, I believe that Mizuya Sushi visit that was in the footage that we see, the only footage we really got from Mandalay Bay. I believe that footage was from the 29th, if I remember right, because it does have in the report that he went back to Mizuya Sushi on the 29th. And I believe, if my memory serves me right, when we looked that up back in the day, that LeBron James interview was an away game because he's wearing dark colors. The background was, you could kind of tell the background on it. And we found that interview, and I believe it was the 29th September that year. So where are we at? We're at, like I said, 15:33, man, 3:33. We should see him going into doing some things in the room, going into the room sometime around that time. That's not going to be precise because that's when he checked in. That's when he's down at the bottom. And we do see that in the videos. And like I said, I did go over that a little bit, in the last one. At 4:56, so almost 5 o'clock, Bellman met Paddock and escorted him to room 135. And we can look at that. All right. So lock interrogation report. So now what we got is let's see, this is the second page here. So let's look at this, right? So this is when he checked in. You have the one or more events have been lost. All right, so that's the check-in. That's when he first goes up to the room. Again, we pretty much know what these are. I explained it yesterday. Excuse me. The door is closed. At this point, he's leaving the room. Doors open from the inside, deadbolt released, doors closed. So he's leaving the room, go down to the valet to pick up his car, right? So we're looking at 3:33 right there. And then at 5:02, he's back up in the room. So right before 5 o'clock, they're listed. They have listed that Paddock was at the valet, right? In the video, let me see what timing they have on the video here as far as when he was at to 16:54 on the valet video. All right, so 16:54, and I don't believe we have a timestamp of when he was in the hallway with the bellman. Of course, there is other footage out there. It's not the New York Times, and that may actually have the timing on there. So 16:54, so that's almost 5 o'clock? It's almost 5 o'clock. And in the report, it states, so in the report, it states 4:56, right? So we should see him go up to the room sometime after 4:56, right? And honestly, that valet is not very far from the actual guest, the service elevators. So wouldn't take him very long at all. So we're looking at, if that's the truth, 56. So we got about 6 minutes that he ended up there. And I would think that's about right. You got about a minute and a half on the elevators. You got about a 2-minute walk down that hallway. Maybe you got a 2-minute walk going into the actual into the area. So yeah, it does fit. It's tight, but it fits. And everything should be pretty tight on this because that's what we want. We don't want a lot of dead time as far as this stuff goes. So 5:02 does sound believable. Guest card accepted. Paddock swiped his card. Doors open, doors closed, all within the same minute. Now that's a little crazy because that indicates that he opened the door. The guy dumped his luggage, and within the same minute, he got all the luggage inside of the room, and that was the end of it. I guess it doesn't take that long to put luggage down, but Yeah, that is tight ship, man. Okay, so then we don't see him again till 5:31, right? 5:31, he throws deadbolt. Okay, I don't know why he waited half an hour to throw a deadbolt. Can't explain that. It's possible. Looked around the room, kind of walked around a little bit, got familiar with it, the layout, and all that sort of stuff. Hey, looked out the windows a little bit. I don't know. There's nothing really going on out there at this time, and eventually came out to lock that deadbolt. We get the readout being done. There's all kinds of these readouts being done. Why it did this in that kind of frequency, I don't know. I don't understand that. That's a little dramatic there, but we did have problems with the door lock earlier, so maybe they're still having connection issues pertaining to this lock. That's really the only thing I can come up with on that. But I mean, they didn't make this up, right? Why would they make up a readout being done? Message. That would just be silly. So 9:33 p.m. we got the doors open from the inside. 9:33 p.m. we got deadbolt release and the doors closed. So he just left at 9:30. So let's go look at what we have within the actual report here. Could be a lot of switching around on this, man. A lot of it. This stuff gets a little wacky. All right, so there's him going into the room. Now we're coming down here. Again, those photos, not too sure about those photos. A little goofy. So from 9:37 to 9:40, he retrieved his vehicle from the valet, and Paddock left the Mandalay Bay. So quickly here, we'll look back. 9:33 is when he left the room. So 9:37, yeah, that fits. That pretty much fits. He retrieved from the valet, so he probably sat there, waited for him for a few minutes. Well, you know what? He had about 4 minutes, so 2-minute walk down the hallway, I'm guessing, maybe a minute down the a minute down the elevator, maybe, and some change. He ends up over at the valet, sitting there waiting for his car for 3 minutes, gets his car, and 1100 hours, Paddock arrived in Mesquite, right? So this is an estimated time. Now, why did they estimate this time? That's it's a little suspect to me when they estimate times like this, and especially with what we're about to read in the line after this. But they estimated this time. And so I'm guessing they estimated it because at 9:40 he left. So the average trip is about an hour and 20 minutes, although it's an hour and 11 minutes if you look it up on a map. But it took him about an hour and 20 minutes in some of these. It took him a little less in some of the trips. And then in one of the trips, which was suspect, is which I think we'll get to eventually here, we'll see that it was 48 minutes, which, that's where things get suspect. But I don't know. I just noticed Richard put up a bunch of videos, October 1 Sounds, and, he may actually cover that. I think that's something him and Hunter were actually going off on. So 2,300 hours, Paddock arrived in Mesquite. How do we know that? We don't. They don't explain, how they know he was in Mesquite at 1,100 hours. And again, it's guesstimation, I guess. It's too precise of a time to be any kind of, exact time on there. So then you go to September 26th, right? Now we're at September 26th. Paddock spent time in his home, Mesquite, downtown Las Vegas, and Mandalay Bay from 10 o'clock in the morning to almost 3 in the afternoon. According to cell phone records, Paddock's cell phone was located in Mesquite. All right. So the problem we have now, or the question, is where the fuck was he from 11 o'clock the night before to 10 o'clock in the morning that morning? Now, it's generally his sleep time is about, 3 in the morning to about 10 in the morning. So we have an issue there as far as, how do they know he was in Mesquite? How do they know? They don't explain it. We know that the cell phone records say, according to this, cell phone records say that he was there from 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. So what about before 10 in the fucking morning? Why doesn't this say cell phone records indicate he was there up until 14:55 from the night before? It doesn't say that. So, to me, that's suspect. I don't know. Don't really have much of an answer for that. It's just suspect. What did he do while he was at home, Mesquite? Who knows? He did not do, according to the preliminary report and the internet searches, he did not do any internet searches on the 25th whatsoever. And we can look at that and we can kind of get an idea of when the internet searches were. And again, we've had problems with these internet searches already. But, these are the latest dates that he actually did internet searches. Up here, you go up here, it's a lot of 9/4. There's some 9/5s, I believe, up here. September 5th, stuff like that. Yeah, there's some September 5th. There's a September 15th right there. September 5th. And then all these, of course, we don't have dates on those. Kind of already went through a lot of this. September 4th. And then September 23rd. And then we have September 20th, 23rd. We have the 30th here. And then we also have the 30th down at the bottom here where he looks up the NHRA schedule. 26 was Children's Discovery Children's Museum. So that's not on 25th. And then we got 28th here where the hard drive is located. So we do have one on the 26th, which I believe is what we're rolling up on at this point. All right, let's kill that. Let's go back to the report. All right. So now we're going on the 26th. So it's possible that search on the 26th was within this time frame here. But we don't have anything else as far as internet searches. At 26, that was the Children's Discovery Museum for the second time. First time was on the 23rd. So this is the second one he's done on that. Creepy shit, but nevertheless, that's what we got. So again, cell phone records indicate he was there from 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, but they're completely silent when it comes to anything before 10 in the morning on the 26th. So, we have some issues there. And if I go to the lock interrogation report, let's see, he's going to come back to the room. Is that at 10:52 p.m. it looks like? Yeah, it looks like 10:52 p.m. So let's get back to this. So we don't have to worry until the nighttime about the lock interrogation. At let's see. So that's oh my god, my calculator, my head's off, man. I hate military time. I freaking hate military time. Let's see. So that is 3:35 p.m. Pat had completed a wire transfer in Mesquite of $50,000 from his Wells Fargo account to an account in the Philippines. Go down here, look at footnote, obtained through a federal grand jury subpoena. Okay, don't care. Irrelevant. So what this line says here, he completed a wire transfer in Mesquite of $50,000 from his Wells Fargo account to an account in the Philippines. Doesn't say anything about him actually going into a bank. Now, I checked this the other day, man. You can actually wire money from a Wells Fargo account to another Wells Fargo account on your cell phone. So he probably, this is 2017, of course. So at the very least, he could have probably done this over a computer. Who knows? And but it doesn't say anywhere here anything about him actually walking into a bank. which is something that I think was assumed, well, which would be assumed by a lot of people. And, but it never said he actually walked into a bank. It also doesn't say that this went to Mary Lou Danley, which is assumed by the mainstream media. And anybody, as far as following the narrative along, that is an assumption, but that was never actually said. I think Mary Lou Danley, talks about it in her statement a little bit. I don't know, but we'll see later. When we get to that, I forget exactly what her wording was on that bullshit. So about 8:12 at night to 2100 hours, Paddock drove from Mesquite to the Ogden. Okay, so this is, I believe, the problem right here. That is not a realistic timeline. This is Hunter's last video was this right here. This is a problem. This is an issue. 2012 is kind of an approximate time, or an exact time, I would think. I don't know where they're getting this information because, above up here it says according to cell phone records. So I guess they're keeping track of his cell phone records this day. I guess that's what we're assuming, is that's how they know that he started driving from Mesquite. Of course, then again, with the broken way and the fucked up way that these people did this report, this is so broken. This is stupid. I mean, I don't know who did this report, but this is dumb. So he was, according to cell phone records, he was in Mesquite until 2:55 in the afternoon. But at 3:35, he did a wire transfer in Mesquite. Why is this worded so it looks like he actually left Mesquite at 2:55? Why is it worded that way? That's just stupid. That's nonsense. So, if you take this verbatim, this is broken. This is completely broken. From and then 8 o'clock to 2100 hours. Paddock drove from Mesquite to the Ogden, so somebody left their calculator at home apparently, and lost track of the amount of minutes it was supposed to take for him to get to the Ogden. And with this, there is something that I'm gonna have to wait until we get to the reports, and I'll point it out when we get to the reports and when I get to that point, because I'm not going to go into depth on this right now. But there was actually, he was cited in the Ogden somewhere around that 2100 hours, I believe. I believe this is the day that all that was happening. And you can actually go back and watch Hunter's very last video, and I believe he actually pointed this out and showed all this. But in this, we have in the reports that he actually was sighted on camera at the Ogden at a certain time. So that makes it a little strange, right? Because we have the departure time of 2012. 2012 sounds pretty fucking exact. It don't sound like somebody made that shit up. Otherwise it would have said, 2000 he left, and that was kind of the argument that we were having as far as this goes. This doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's hard to make sense out of it. I don't believe this guy was hauling ass with whatever the hell he was carrying back and forth. I don't believe he was driving 115 miles an hour in a car that maxes out at 115 miles an hour, pedal to the metal the entire way. I just don't believe that. I don't buy that at all. 90 miles an hour, okay. I get that. Even 100 miles an hour to a point. Yeah, okay, I get that. But 115, once you start getting up to those speeds, nah, I don't see this old man doing that, and I don't see that car doing that. So we have issues there. We have some serious issues with that. Anyway, of course, one thing we never went into was the elevation of Mesquite versus the elevation of Las Vegas, whether or not that was possible with elevation playing a factor. But nevertheless, I don't believe this guy's throwing nitrous in here and playing Fast and Furious on his way to Vegas. So that's an issue. But again, that is pretty approximate time. So from 2102 to 2216 hours, Paddock walked around and gambled at the El Cortez Hotel. Did he though? Did he though? Because the problem is in the report, you're going to run into where he was at the D. And like I said, if you want to see that, you're going to have to watch Hunter's video there on that. It actually looks like instead of the El Cortez in this statement, it should actually say the D Hotel. Not sure why they decided to omit that in this, but for some reason, yeah, they decided not to put the D Hotel in this. And he was caught on camera at the D Hotel. Could it be mistaken identity? We threw that around our heads for a while. Could have been mistaken identity, I guess. Could have actually been at the El Cortez. But even if he was at the El Cortez at 2102, and the hard thing about that, again, I don't want to go into too much detail on this because that's something that Hunter's already done, and I'm going to have to go into detail on it eventually anyway. And I haven't dug up that report right now, so I'm not going to do it. It would take too long just to look for it. They walked around, gambled at the El Cortez Hotel. Okay, whatever, dude. But still, 2102. If that's legit, then that means that it took him 50 minutes? 50 minutes to drive haul ass all the way to the Ogden, park his car, run over to the El Cortez, which would take about 2 minutes, I guess. Something like that. It's tight, but I guess everything needs to be tight, so that's good. But yeah, 50 minutes? Nah, you guys are smoking crack, man. That's not a thing. And that was something we were arguing about in the end again. A lot of this, me and Hunter, we did disagree on a lot of things, and this is one of those things we disagreed with. This did not happen, at least not in the way that they're saying. It just didn't. This is bullshit. So not really sure what happened here, but if we do, if it's legit that he was seen on the camera at the D Hotel at a certain, around this time, then okay, he was probably at the D. When he left, drove from Mesquite. When he left Mesquite, I don't know where they got that 2012 from. And, homeboy went into all the towers, the cell phone towers, all that sort of stuff, tried to narrow down the distance a little by the latest cell phone tower within Mesquite. Still doesn't work. Still really doesn't work. I mean, he can narrow it down to the point where he'd be driving, I think, 108 miles an hour or something like that. I think that's as far down as he narrowed it down. And it's like, nah, you ain't doing that. And when you get in and out of a city, you're still going to be doing about 40, especially in Vegas. That's a little crazy. That timeline doesn't work right there. But like I said, and I used to tell them this all the time. I tell everybody this. This timeline itself is trash. What we're going through right now, this is all garbage, and it's kind of why I'm going through it, just to show, just to look at some of the inaccuracies of this stuff. So at 22-23, Paddock returned to the Ogden. Okay, see, that could be possible. And the thing is, the 22-16, if you walked around, gambled the El Cortez, you left the El Cortez. It only took him 2 minutes, according to this, to walk to the El Cortez. But now all of a sudden it's taken 7 minutes to walk back to the Ogden. That's it's a little suspect. What did he? There ain't much between the Ogden and the El Cortez, so I doubt he's running around looking around. But again, who knows? There's all kinds of variables in that. But if he was actually at the D Hotel, instead of the El Cortez at that point, the D Hotel 7-minute trip is not out of reality. That's realistic. As far as the D goes. As far as the El Cortez, that's not as realistic. Yeah, well, I mean, even if you're going, 110 miles an hour, hauling balls all the way from Mesquite to back to Vegas. The thing is, what Hunter's hang up on this was, in his, not his hang up, but what he was trying to go through here is in his head, the biggest thing was, if this is true and he actually was hauling ass coming back from Mesquite, then why was he hauling ass? Who was he in a hurry to actually go and meet up with? You know, what was that deal? And so, you know, why did he have to be there, you know, at 9 o'clock? Was the deal. But then, like I said, you know, we argued about that, and, you know, straight up, this fucking didn't happen in the way that it happened. He did not drive 115 miles an hour all the way from Mesquite to Las Vegas. But then again, like I said, that it's hard to argue, because that 2012, that looks like an exact time. That doesn't look like an approximation. And how do we have that information? Don't know, because they talk about how the cell phone only said he was there until 2:55, if you want to take this literal. And then, you know, even when he's over here doing the wire transfer, there's a Paddock completed a wire transfer in Mesquite of, okay, so he's in Mesquite at, you know, this time. You know, it's just, it gets really stupid the way they did this. This whole timeline, the whole timeline's broken. Well, I mean, I was always curious why the El Cortez, but then again, you know, it went into the El Cortez, and it was about the same time both nights, right? 9, 10 o'clock. You know, who did he know that was on that shift? But, you know, and he talked to security guards, stuff like that. But then, problem is, he wasn't at the El Cortez this day. According to the, you know, when we get into the statements later, he was at the D. So that wasn't the case. He was at the D. No, I don't know. Shit gets crazy. Now, the D, I can see him hanging around gambling at the D a little bit more. I don't know what kind of poker machine he liked. I don't know if the D had it at the time. I don't know much about that. I don't do the video poker thing. So, you know, I could see him at the D, though. The D's a little more high roller than the El Cortez. El Cortez is, you know, it's a low rent casino, man. It's you know, it still caters to tourists because where it is on Fremont, but it's a low rent casino. The old joke used to be, if you want to get anything, you got it at the El Cortez or out in front of the El Cortez. It's cleaned up a little bit since those days. You know, people aren't selling crack rocks out front of the El Cortez these days, but it's still sketchy. Especially late at night. Okay, so Paddock returned to the Ogden. So now we're looking at 10:23. Return to the Ogden. So at 10:34, Paddock departed the Ogden, drove to Mandalay Bay. So we got, what, 11 minutes? So if we return to the Ogden at 10:23, that means that gives them enough time to actually go up into a room and, you know, grab something, do whatever. And yeah, El Cortez is an interesting place. Anyways, yeah, but it's a little sketchy. They got a lot of bars and stuff like that. There's a lot of drunk people, you know, on your way there. If you go to the front entrance or the Fremont Street entrance, it gets a little sketchy. If you go walking down that side street, yeah, you're asking for trouble. But I mean, where he goes from the Ogden to that, he's kind of going straight from one door to the other. It's not that big of a deal, but yeah, a little side street there gets a little sketchy at night. All right, so 10:34, man, he departs the Ogden and drove to Mandalay Bay from 10:45. So we got about 11 minutes to 10:52. So within that 7-minute period, Paddock valeted his vehicle at Mandalay Bay and took 6 suitcases located on a luggage cart and 1 rolling suitcase. Paddock rolled the suitcase up himself up to room 135 by way of the service elevator with help of a bellman. The bellman who escorted Paddock on September 25th was different than the bellman who escorted Paddock on September 26th. All right. So, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, but man, these guys kind of look very similar. So I'm not sure if what do we got here? We got it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it looks like 5, 6, 7, and then he's rolling 1. Here he's not rolling anything, so I don't know. Not going to really nitpick that picture because I don't know. All right. And then at 23:08, Paddock began gambling at the Mandalay Bay and continued gambling until the next morning. All right. So we're looking for around 10:52, 10:52 at night, and then 11:08. So what we expect to see in the door logs is at 10:52, somewhere around there, we expect to see Paddock open the door. And then at 11:08, we'd expect to see him open the door again and close the door and all that good stuff. So let's see what we got in the thing here. The lock interrogation. All right. What a fucking mess. Let's see if I can zoom this in a little bit. All right. So that's about as much as I want to zoom it in with what we're dealing with. All right. So this 6:57 a.m., stuff like this, I don't really want to go too much into because I don't know enough about the system. I know, I've heard about this stuff and we've talked about this stuff, but I don't know enough about this system to feel comfortable actually talking about this. Readouts have been done. Readouts are done like crazy here. Readouts done here. Error, guest card overridden. This is always interesting because, that doesn't mean the person tried to get in their door. That's not what happened. I'm guessing this person was the prior resident of that room, but why they waited until 10:05 p.m. That night after he checked in to cancel her card, I don't know. It could be because they're having problems with the servers, I'm guessing. That was part of our arguments because you see all these readouts being done like crazy and you saw the errors on the earlier in the day. So I'm guessing it's possible that they were having problems with the server, and eventually when it all got caught up, they overrode the guest cards. Ping from server, okay, yeah, whatever. Setting up time started, okay, I guess it sets its time every day. Setting up time completed, I guess it checks its time. I don't know. Cancel is full, oldest card erase. That's, whatever. Again, I'm not the one to be looking at stuff like that. Card has been canceled. I don't know why they keep a full cancel list. I don't know what's going on with that. So 10:52, we got Paddock guest card accepted, doors open, doors closed. A minute later. So, and then then we don't see him till 11:04. So doors open, doors closed. Guessing, that's the bellhop dumping his luggage down and him closing the door behind him. And let's see what we got on the report real quick. So it says 10:52. That's what we were looking for. 10:52. That's exactly what we got. So that does fit. Looks like they use the door logs for that part of this report as far as the timeline goes. So that's pretty good. Then we're looking at 11:08. He began gambling. All right. So then we go to here is 11:04 p.m. Doors open from the inside. 11:04 p.m. Doors closed. So he took off. Now he's gambling throughout the night, according to the report. And then we don't see him again until 7 in the morning. All right. So now we can go back to this madness. All right. So far, these two things at the bottom here, these 2 bullet points, those check out. At least to a point, for the most part. So September 27th now. Paddock spent several hours gambling at the Mandalay Bay. Paddock spoke with his VIP host, Reference, wanting the Vista Suite at the end of the hall with the double doors. On its face value, that sentence doesn't make sense because he's already in a Vista Suite with double doors. Paddock was insistent on the suite and connecting room. That's what he had. Paddock wanted to be in the 200 wing as it had a better view, according to him. See, that's where it starts to make a little bit of sense. Would have been nice if they explained this a little better. Paddock was upset about the room, but he was not angry. Paddock never mentioned the reason why he wanted a connecting room, but he had one already. He was already in a Vista suite, and he had locked up the room next to it. He was just waiting on it to be available. Let's see, at 7:13 hours, Paddock stopped gambling, which he was doing continuously through the previous night. At let's see, so like I said, sleep time, 7 in the morning to what is that? That's 3 in the afternoon, almost 4 in the afternoon. So we do have kind of a sleep pattern here: 7 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. Paddock placed a room service ticket order for 2 entrees totaling $94.33. Again, this is 27th. I don't believe we have any searches on the computer as far as anything in the report. So at 4:32, room 32135 is cleaned by hotel staff. Paddock remained in the room as it was cleaned. I believe the chick said he was on his computer the whole time. What he was doing on that computer, I don't have a clue. At 8:03, Paddock was seen in the valet in Mandalay Bay with 2 rolling suitcases. Paddock had his vehicle retrieved from valet and left Mandalay Bay at 8:15. So took some suitcases home with him. So what we should see in the mock interrogation report is 7:13 in the morning. We should see him coming back to the room. And then at almost 4 o'clock, we should see, sometime around 4 o'clock, because I don't think these were exact. We should see the room service order for the 2 entrees. We should see room service come up to his room. So we should see the doors open from the inside and doors closed. And then at 4:32, room 135 is cleaned by hotel staff. Paddock remained in the room as it was clean. So we should see some staff action going on. I believe on this date that he actually opened the door for him. So you're not going to see a staff card opening the door. So let's see what we get here. I wish you could share 2 screens, but you can't. Otherwise, I could put these side by side. I wouldn't have to skip around all the damn time. At least as far as I know, you can. Not with this program. All right, so that is the wrong screen. That's what I was just showing. And that is part of the problem. Which one is it? Is it this one? No, that's the same one. What the hell? This gets a little confusing. Yeah, they do prop door open, yeah. So yeah, we should see something like that as well. As soon as I can get this, if I can ever get this report going here. Okay. And where are we at? We're at the, let's see, we're on the 27th. Like I said, 7 in the morning, we should see him coming back. So what do we got? We got on the 27th, starts right about here, 7:18 a.m. Guest card accepted, doors open, doors closed, deadbolt thrown, deadbolt released, deadbolt thrown. Why he liked to play at the deadbolt, I have no idea. But yeah, apparently he liked to play at the deadbolt. But he only did it once here, so it is what it is, man. I'm not going to nitpick on that one. So 7:13 is what we got in the report. Here we got 7:18. So I guess they're saying that they saw him walking through the casino at that 7:13 mark. So I'm guessing that was taken by camera footage and not by this actual report right here. Is what it looks like. So 7:18 a.m. Guest card accepted. Doors open. Doors closed. Yeah, deadbolt, deadbolt, deadbolt. So that's him coming back. And like I said, he probably collapsed because there's nobody alive that's going to stay awake that fucking long. Because this guy has not been sleeping much at this point. Okay, so doors open from the inside at 3:28 p.m. So let me look again what we got here as far as room service says At 3:56, Paddock placed a room service order for 2 entrees, right? So 3:56. So that's before this, right? So that's not what this was. Now there was a guy that came and sprayed some air freshener or some bullshit. I'm not sure if this is the timing on that. Again, that's going to have to come later. So this right here, not sure why he opened the door. Deadbolt release, doors closed. Doors open from the inside. So he stayed in the room. He stayed in the room. Open the door, close the door. Open the door, close the door. Well, I mean, he opened the door, hit the deadbolt, or the deadbolt released. He closed the door, open the door, close the door, open the door, close the door. It's possible that at this time you had you would have had room service running up and down the hall. The place was cleaned at 4:32 in the afternoon. It's possible at this time he saw the room service going up and down the hallway, knocking on doors, saying, "Excuse me, room service," and all that bullshit. So, again, that's it's kind of one of the only answers I can mention there. Maybe he was fucking with his camera. If he already had the camera set up on the people, maybe he's taking that thing down, doing something of that nature. I really don't know. This 328, all these actions here are hard to figure out. They don't make a lot of sense. So 328, basically he opened the door and then he opened the door again. He closed the door both times, obviously. And then we don't have it until 348. 348, we have the doors open from the inside. And then we have the door open from the inside again. So let me see what the room service ticket was at 3:56. Okay, so that's not this. That's not this. So 3:48, door open from the inside, door closed, door open from the inside, door closed. A minute later. This could be within seconds, the way this works. So this could have all been the same thing. Decided to play with the door a little bit. What he was doing there, it's anybody's guess at that point. Because these are all very strange interactions. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within, what is that, 20 minutes? Half an hour, basically. We got a bunch of doors being opened and then closed. And then if we go to the next page, this is one of those days, man. This stuff's chaos, and I could understand if you had people staying there with them, but apparently it didn't. Okay, so we do have the staff card, which to me is, I guess, that's interesting. The explanation I've heard behind that. So that's at 4:32. So what do we have at 4:32? These are at 3:53. All this stuff. Wait, did I just change page? What the hell, man? What the hell? There we go. So 3:53, and then at the 4:32 up here, staff card accepted. I keep forgetting to look at this top line. So staff card accepted up there. All right, so now room service is there. They were there at 4:32. And like I said, the only explanation I can have for a lot of this minutia and this bullshit is, it's possible he was hearing the room service outside and kept opening up that door to see how close they were to his room, possibly. Why that would matter, I don't know. He had to hide the guns. But I wouldn't think he'd be set up at this point. Anyway, staff card accepted. All right, so they did swipe the staff card. They probably swiped the staff card because, to show the computer system that they were actually up there and that they did their job, I'm guessing. Because the guy's in the room. He could have opened the door. In fact, it does say the door's open from the inside. So this guy was sitting there watching that door. Setting time complete at 10:06 and goes backwards. I don't think it did it? Did it? Wow, that's crazy. If that's the case, that's crazy. Where is that? Setting a time started and completed. No, see, the setting a time started at 10:05 and then it completed at 10:06. No, it's cool. It's cool. That's what you're here for. That's what we're doing. It's all good, man. It's all good. I was gonna say that would be a trip if that was the case. But... So, staff card accepted, right? This guy was watching the door pretty closely, right? Because as soon as they swiped their card, he opened that door. He probably saw him in the hallway. So I'm guessing this last one here, this 353. You know, that's a long time though, man. It's a half hour. But they could have been down the hallway saying, "Would you like your room cleaned?" Or you could have actually went up there and confronted them and said, "Yeah, I want my room," you know, blah blah blah. Or he would have had to say it out the door, man, because he closed the door. He didn't open it from the outside. He didn't prop it open, really. It looks like so. Yeah, it's a little interesting there. But again, you know, if he had the peephole cam up, I guess it's possible that he was worried about, you know, tearing things down, doing stuff like that. I mean, you know, maybe he's messing with the door in that fashion. I don't know why you'd have to open the door for that peephole cam, but who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so we got the staff in there at 4:32. Doors open from the inside. He opened the door for them. And then the door looked like it was propped open until 5:21. So I guess if the hot sauce is legit a thing, right? If that hot sauce is actually legitimate, then I guess you would have the staff swipe the key automatically, even if the guy's going to open the door from the inside. They would swipe that card so that when the hot sauce went off, it wouldn't send an alarm to the guys downstairs, because at that point you look at it, you say, oh, it's the cleaning ladies or dudes or whoever's doing that, and that wouldn't really matter, you know, because they're going to prop the door open anyway, and it's going to be open for an extended period of time. So 5:21 looks like cleaning staff finished. Door is closed. Then he throws the deadbolt 11 minutes later. I don't know why it took him that long, but probably because they closed the door. And then, he got around to it, a little bit later to actually throw the deadbolt. And then he released the deadbolt. What the fuck you doing, dude? And then the door's open from the inside. See, that's an interesting anomaly that happens throughout this, right? Because up until this point, he has opened the door with the deadbolt thrown. And so what he's doing is he's just not giving a shit about the deadbolt. He's just hitting the hammer on the door, and it's opening the deadbolt, automatically. At this point, it looks like he actually released the deadbolt himself, which is kind of a change in pattern. That's interesting. The door's open from the inside, but then again, he just threw the deadbolt, so maybe he remembered that he had it. Maybe, he's just playing with it. Who knows? So door's closed, deadbolt thrown, deadbolt released. 5:32 now we're hitting on. And then doors open from the inside at 5:32. So he threw the deadbolt, released the deadbolt. You know what? What probably happened here, what this looks like to me, is the guy didn't know whether the deadbolt was thrown or not thrown. So he went and he hammered the deadbolt and realized, oh, I just fucking locked it, and then fucking unhammered the deadbolt, then opened the door, and then the door is closed. And then within the same minute, he throws the deadbolt again, release the deadbolt. No. So we're just playing with the deadbolt at this point. Oops. Put my cigarette out before I burn my house down. Yeah, he's just playing with the deadbolt. He's playing with the door. At this point, he's just messing with the door. Doors closed. Deadbolt thrown, deadbolt release, doors open from the inside. It's all about the same time here, or it is the same time. It's the same exact moment. Doors closed, and then deadbolt's thrown, and the door's not open again until 7:54. So if we go back to the report here, it says at almost 5 o'clock, Paddock placed room service order for 2 entrees, right? So right before at, oh no, wait, that's 4 o'clock. So it's 3:56, right? So 3:56, we should be seeing something here. Wow, completely missed that one. Wait, 15, yeah, it's 3:56, so it's almost 4 o'clock. And then the staff came in and cleaned the room at 4:32. So he should have got the room service either before or at the same exact time. So what are we looking at here? Let's go back. So the staff car was at 4:32, according to the fit report. That was at 4:32. The room was clean. 4:32. That's exactly what we got. So apparently they got that off that part of the timeline. They got off of this door log, and then the room service was placed the room service order. Now this says he placed the room service order, but the way this report is written, how squirrely this shit is, I'm going to say that could mean he either placed it at that point. Food was delivered while the maid was there. Okay, well, all right. I could see that. That would make sense. So it says Paddock placed a room service order for 2 entrees at 3:56. Right? So that's totally logical, man. You know, it totally makes sense. I forget if she said he was eating or not. So yeah, you probably remember the reports better than I do. My memory sucks. I remember reading her stuff, but yeah, my memory's terrible. But again, you know, we don't have any internet searches on this day, so it's weird. I don't know what he's doing on his computer when he's leering at this girl. All right, so that would have been 4:32. That would have been the stuff for 4:32 up to 5:21. Yeah, so that makes sense as far as that goes, because that door was open way too long for that room service to take that fucking long to come after that. But yeah, we got all this goofy stuff, man. You know, that 5:32, he was playing with the deadbolt, playing with the door, messing with the door. Why he would do that, like I said, I don't know. I don't know what was going on with that. You know, again, he could be testing doors out. He wasn't using the key card though, so that's something. Also, up to this point, just real quick, I want to do this. While I'm doing this, whoops, shit, that's the wrong page. All right. While I'm doing this, okay, so issued by Jay Wheeler. Oops, oh man. Oh, I need to learn to computer here because I'm failing. Jay Wheeler, that MG whatever, McGober, whatever, doesn't mean anything. That's Shauna McKeon. All right, so then we go to you know, where we're at here, and we look at this. We have Jay Wheeler. Interesting enough, we don't have, to my knowledge, we don't have Jay Wheeler's statement. We don't have any of these people's statement. So, you know, these are the people that handed the cards out to them. They had interaction with them, but we don't have anything on them, which is very interesting to me. So yeah, a lot of this, it's hard to make sense out of a lot of this 5:32 stuff. Doors open, doors closed. He was doing this a lot. That's some strange behavior. If you're going to go grab ice down the hall, you would think you would see the doors open from the outside at some point. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I a lot of these reports I don't remember, dude. That's why I'm probably going to have to go through this again once because the plan here with this, with all this channel stuff, what I'm doing now. The plan is to try and get through everything in order, some kind of order. I know I've skipped around already, and I did that, you know, because the reports are going to be really hard to deal with, the PDFs and stuff like that. So the plan here for me doing this because I just watched a couple of your videos. You know, Richard, I just watched a couple of your videos, and you know, you said the same thing, man. We're playing, you know, you're playing catch up with Hunter at some point. I'm playing catch up with all you guys, you know, because to me, you know, I kind of stopped the Vegas thing a while back. I really stopped this Vegas. Yeah, I'll watch them all, dude. Trust me, I'm gonna get through them, and I'll even let the family know that you're doing. I already talked to the family about your channel, and let them know that you're doing what you're doing. So they're happy about that, and so they'll be checking it out too. Let's see. So anyway, sorry about that. I was just reading comments. So basically, the best way I can think to do this, because I don't, you know, a lot of these reports, a lot of these PDFs I skipped over. I didn't read because, you know, that's just the way I am. And, you know, I've quit this thing so many times, gotten frustrated so many times throughout this, for one reason or another. Either people were frustrating me, or drama was frustrating me, or some bullshit, you know, it was just getting under my skin. So, you know, I've quit this so many times that towards the end there, the only thing that was keeping me going was people asking questions, right? So, you know, mainly Hunter for the most part. You know, he'd ask a question, then all of a sudden, here we go into a tailspin of, you know, researching, trying to find out the answers to whatever questions he's got. It got a little crazy, and that was the only thing that got me going into this. Kept me going into this. So, you know, my knowledge is very. It was always targeted in a certain direction. You know, what is this wire hanging out of the bag? What is this? What is that? You know, what do you make out of, you know, this person saying whatever within their statement? You know, the Johanna thing, right? And so you just all that sort of stuff. You know, so you're hyper focused on one thing, one small aspect of this thing. In the past, I did go through these door logs once before, and this is, like I said, this gets really crazy. It gets really confusing. Once you add the second room into this, you know, it gets really super intense. And I know you know this. It gets really intense. And I'm not a spreadsheet guy. I don't do that, you know. Spreadsheets are like fucking trying to read Chinese to me. So most of the time, I try not to use spreadsheets. But, you know, so what I kind of plan to do here is actually go through every single thing. So this time I'm not skipping around. You know, this time I'm making sure I hit it all. And, you know, the only reason I'm doing it live is so if anybody really wants to, you know, join in, you know, watch or something like that. And I can always go back later and watch my own stuff and see what, you know, I was thinking at the time, where the problems were that I couldn't explain. Things like that. And that's kind of why I'm doing this. So, you know, after I get through this report, which this is going to take forever. I mean, this just takes forever going through this door log stuff. Once I get to 120, you know, the second room, 134, then it's going to go fucking in a tailspin. And this is going to go really, really super slow. Not looking forward to that at all. But, you know, I'm going to get through this report eventually. And then once I do that, I'm going to go back into release number 2. Release number 2 is all the PDF files. I'm going to read through all those. There's a shit ton of those. I was trying to consolidate those and so I don't have to read them verbatim, because reading those verbatim is miserable. But at this point, you know, I tried doing that and I'm like, this is just taking too much time. You know, I'll sit there, write one of those up. It'll take me 3 hours. And it's like, I could just read the damn thing in 15 minutes. So, you know, I plan on after this going into drop number 2, doing all that. You know, number 3 is going to be the same thing. Number 3 is a bunch of PDFs. So same nonsense. And then once I get to 4, I believe was the camera footage from the ceiling or whatever, the roof cams. Not going to even deal with that because, you know, that's not going to make for anything exciting, and it's going to bore the hell out of me. Plus, it's very long footage, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit here for, you know, a month and a half just showing camera footage of, you know, buses driving by. And then after that, we go into, I think, the helicopter camera footage or something, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that either. I'm not going to go through that either. I'm going to skip the 911 calls because, again, 32 hours. Well, is it 30? Yeah, I think it's like 32 hours of that's too much. I'll come back later and hit that, I think. But then I'll go through the videos because the videos are fairly easy to get through. Most of the videos are fairly straightforward as far as that stuff goes. And I like to I need to get better at taking notes because I'm not. I'm an organized mess for the most part, which is why a lot of this stuff is a pain in the ass. But then I'll go into I kind of want to sit here and figure out where all these body cams are actually, in relation to, the surrounding area and stuff like that. That way, if when we get into like witness statements, stuff like that, we can always come back to those witness statements, say this person said they saw a gun. Because in the very first set of witness statements, we have somebody that says they saw someone with a gun, and over there on Reno. And they said he did not look like a cop, and he was, raising his gun in the air, and his arms in the air, like he was surrendering to the police. I don't remember ever seeing that in any of the body cams. So it would be good to have an idea of where all the body cams, were located. And I know people have already done that work, but, like I said, I'm just kind of doing it for myself here. And in the end, I guess I can, match information with somebody and see where we conflict and, what we agree on. So that's that. And that's the plans for the future. And realistically, bro, I mean, the only thing that's keeping me going on this, the only thing that got me going on this, because I quit this a long time ago. I was just doing this, mostly private, videos and stuff like that. The only thing that kind of kept me going on all this stuff is, when Hunter passed. If I didn't feel like, I had to keep the ball rolling in some way, then I probably wouldn't be doing this. Yeah, it's be a lot of work, man, but we'll see. So far, I've been kind of enjoying it. I mean, enjoying it, I guess, is a bad term when you're talking about a mass shooting, but it hasn't been too bad so far. Yeah, I miss him too, man. I definitely miss him. I have the very last video of him, bro. I'll tell you this, and I know there's a couple people listening right now, so I don't know if I should be really talking about this, but man, I got a video from him. I don't remember the date on it. I'd have to go back and look at it, but yeah, it fucks me up, dude. It fucks me up every time I listen to that shit. I've had quite a few people die this year, and he was kind of sandwiched in between that, and between the end of last year and this year, and I got a video from I think it was in January, where he basically said to me that he wasn't feeling good, and he was hoping that it went away, and that he didn't want to end up in the hospital. And shit, man, like I said, that kind of rolled off my back a little bit. I'm thinking, he'll be fine, no big deal. Then all of a sudden he disappeared. So yeah, bad times, man, bad times. So let me see if I can get a little further through this, man. All right, so we got the hotel staff, all that sort of stuff. At 8:00 at night, he was seen at the valet of the Mandalay Bay. So, the next part of this that should make sense is 8:00 at night. I believe I'm still, with you guys, I'm still on the report here. So a lot of this stuff, right, doesn't make a lot of sense. A lot of this opening, closing doors is kind of an anomaly. It's something that doesn't really make sense. It's not gonna make sense. I don't think there's any way to make sense of this. And the sad thing is, man, I mean, fuck, not to keep bringing it up, dude, but You know, the sad fucking thing, man, is the UFO thing is crazy right now, dude. It's fucking going nuts, man. In America, it's nuts. We're getting sightings. I mean, I'm watching channels completely unrelated to anything like that, you know, and people are saying that they're seeing UFOs just out there in the wild randomly, and they're doing these random videos about, yeah, you know, check out this UFO sighting. I mean, I don't do this, I don't talk about this stuff, but this is what I witnessed. I mean, this stuff is everywhere right now. All right, all right, you're gone. I'll stop talking about it. I don't need to talk about it anymore. Um, yeah, that's just pain in the ass. Yeah, that kind of fucks me up, man. Thinking about that shit. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of this stuff ain't gonna make sense, man. I don't think you know, we're gonna be able to make sense out of a lot of this. All the stuff 328, 348, 349. The only thing I could say, you know, that is a possibility that I've argued with before is it's possible, you know, this guy, if he has a people cam set up, then that makes it even, you know, easier. He could be opening up his door to figure out where the maids are, you know, because he sees the maids coming down the room, down the hallway. He could be sighting in that people cam. I guess that's a possibility. He could be, you know, however, you know, that people cam operates, you know, up to this point. You know, he could be, you know, messing with it, zooming it in, trying to figure out, opening the door, trying to figure out, okay, what does it look like in reality versus what it looks like on my tiny ass camera on this monitor. You know, you could have something of that nature going on here. You know, not too sure. But then, you know, I always felt that he might not have had the people camera up at this point. That might have been something that came later. So then we go to after the maids left. You know, after the maids took off, doors closed at 521. Again, we have a series of doors open, deadbolt thrown, doors closed, all that sort of stuff. If you're sighting in the camera, why are you throwing the deadbolt? What's that about? So, you know, like I said, a lot of this, I don't know how to make sense of a lot of this. I don't think you can make sense of a lot of this. I don't think, you know, that's ever going to be solved there. So 754, doors open from the inside, deadbolt released. That's because he opened the door. And then deadbolt thrown, right? So now at this point, the door should be open with the deadbolt engaged. That way the door is propped open. Deadbolt released, door is closed. He's testing out the door a little bit here. I did a little bit of that when I was in Vegas. So, you know, he could be testing that out, you know, see what happens when you throw the deadbolt, you leave the door open. Does it actually prop the door open for you, whatever, whatnot, you know, coming up with ideas, who knows. But that looks like what was happening there. He's testing the deadbolt with the keeping the door open. Doors open from the inside, doors closed. Readout has been done, right? So this is where he leaves right here, 756. So that last little nonsense. 754, doors open from the inside, deadbolt released, deadbolt thrown. Prop the door open for a minute. All right, so this makes sense now. This makes even more sense, right? Did he gamble this night? Is that where we're going? Are we going with gambling? Shoot. And I lost my place on the freaking. Okay, yeah. So we're going with gambling this night. I believe, man. I'm all screwed up, man. Got off topic with that hunter stuff, man, and now I'm all fucked up. So we're talking about the 27th here. So we're talking about 27th. So yeah, I had the room cleaned. Let's see. So he took off. He was seeing the valet area, man of the bay, with 2 rolling suitcases. So he's taking 2 rolling suitcases out. It says 8:03 at night. All right. So we come up to 7:56. So what probably happened here is On this one here, see, the rest I can't explain. This one I can't explain. He opened the door. He released the deadbolt because the door's open. He threw the deadbolt because he was grabbing his bags. He's taking his bags. He was carrying 2 bags, right? So he's not going to have any free hands. Took both his bags, put them outside of the door. Then he released the deadbolt, closed the door, and that's all we're going to hear. Well, then we got the doors open from the inside. Wait, whoa. He closed the door. Why did he close the door? I mean, I guess, yeah, okay. He threw the deadbolt, put his bags outside, walked into the room, grabbed maybe God knows what, maybe the key card or something stupid like that. And then the door is closed and he's gone at this point. All right. And then we don't see him again. Let's see. Yeah, it's Paddock. So we don't see him again till shit, man. The 29th. Let's see him again till the 29th. Because then we got guest card accepted. Oh, no. Slow your roll here. That is him. I was thinking that was something else. So we don't see him again till 9:53 p.m. on 28th. All right, so he almost spent a full day away from this place. I'm sorry, I'm still, yeah, okay. So we're on that screen. So let's go back to. Sorry, it was a little confusing here, man. I got thrown off a little bit by that. Whoops, that's the wrong one. I got thrown off a little bit by that conversation. And again, if you're interested, man, I mean, Richard there, Vegas October 1 Sounds. He just put out a series of videos there about Hunter and the stuff that him and Hunter were doing. It's like I said, I got through the first couple. I haven't gotten through much else than that. So that'll be interesting. That'll be some interesting stuff. It'll be good shit. All right, so whatever. 8 o'clock, Paddock was seen in the valet area in Mandalay Bay with 2 rolling suitcases. Paddock had his vehicle retrieved from the valet and left Mandalay Bay. So he waited 12 minutes for his car. At 2029, he arrived at the Ogden, so 8:29. So that took him almost 15 minutes to get to the Ogden to get back up there, which is pretty good, but it is 10 o'clock at night, so there ain't no traffic in Vegas at that point. I forget what the highway is there, but probably took the freeway up. And then Paddock left the Ogden, drove to Mesquite, where he arrived at 2200. So at 8:45 to was that 10 o'clock? So hour and 15 minutes. Took him to drive to Mesquite. Again, man, we had 48 minutes up top up there, man. That's not right. Drove to Mesquite, where he arrived at and again that's approximate time, or it's a guesstimation, I'm guessing. So they probably had him leaving at 20:45 or somewhere around there from the Ogden, and they probably just guessed it takes him about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm guessing there's a lot of guesswork involved in some of this garbage here. It seems. 11 o'clock at night, Paddock arrived at the Walmart Mesquite, purchased luggage, razor blades, fake flowers, a vase, and a styrofoam ball. What? That shit gets goofy. What the fuck? What are you doing with that shit, man? What do you need that shit for? Decorating your room a little bit? Decorating the room? Was there something where, I've thrown this around, but it goes into, of course, conspiracy territory and speculation. But, I mean, that little peephole cam, I mean, is it possible he could have, jammed that thing in the styrofoam ball, cut a hole in the vase, small hole in the vase, right? See, he had a glass cutter, right? But again, the glass cutter, The vase that we see in the pictures looks like a round vase. Doesn't look like a square one. Glass cutter, I don't think would work for that. So, again, it's my speculation, my crazy ass theories. I would say jam that freaking camera in that styrofoam ball, cut a hole in the vase, get a dark colored vase, black. So match the camera, shove that camera into the vase, and you're good to go. Problem is that camera had a cord coming out of it. So where does that cord go at that point? But you do have a refrigerator up there with the cord coming down from that. But how's that going to help you, right? Problem solving that shit is just crazy. But to me, razor blades, cut up styrofoam ball, I guess. Guy doesn't carry a knife, man. He's got all these guns, but you don't have no knives. That's a little strange, a little shaky there. Fake flowers, yeah, okay. We're gonna cut them with the razor blades, I guess, because those things usually you have to cut those. Vase, styrofoam ball, yeah. I don't know. Luggage, yeah. Well, he's using trash bags, right? So I guess he needed more luggage, man. He probably figured that out while he was at the Ogden. And just to go into the early morning here, so I can leave off here. In Mesquite, Paddock purchased a .308 bolt action rifle. Deposited 14 grand into a Wells Fargo account and wire transferred 50 grand to an account in the Philippines. So I'm guessing at this point he had to physically do that. Yeah, I'm guessing he physically had to put that 14 grand in, right? I can't imagine another way he would do that. It's not like this guy's collecting paychecks. And wire transfer 50 grand to an account in the Philippines. Paddock visited an unofficial gun range in Mesquite before traveling back to the Mandalay Bay. Let's see what the stupid thing is on that. The unofficial gun range was determined to be the city of Mesquite landfill. It's interesting how they call it an unofficial gun range. But, all right, so, and then what we got? We got 2 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, basically. Basically, generally 2:30 in the morning to about 2:30 in the afternoon. Paddock's cell phone is located in Mesquite again, according to cell phone records. There we are again, right? There we are again with cell phone records. These guys ran a lot of cell phone records, but on certain times they did not run cell phone records. So that is interesting. All right, we got a general time up here of 2,200 hours. It's not exact. Doesn't say that. He arrived at this exact time due to cell phone records, something like that. Doesn't say that. And then, of course, like I said, when we started out tonight, up there we had an issue where, said his cell phone was in Mesquite at a certain time, but he wasn't there the rest of the time. But then we were supposed to imagine that this guy was in Mesquite that entire fucking time. So that becomes problematic. So, sleep time. Guy went home and slept. This is the 28th. 28th, he did some of the searches, or let me see real quick. I'm not going to put it on screen. I'll do that maybe tomorrow. He did the search for where's the hard drive located on the E5570, which, that's something we're going to have to talk about a little bit because that's an interesting topic in itself. Because he starts the day at home. If he did the actual search for where's that hard drive located while he was at home, why did he bring a busted up laptop back to Mandalay Bay? It doesn't make a lot of sense. So that search in itself would have probably been done at the Mandalay Bay. That thing would have been torn apart at the Mandalay Bay. And at that point, he has the hard drive at the Mandalay Bay. Where'd the hard drive go? Of course, I think he does eventually go back to Mesquite here. Let me see. Stop gambling. Checked into room. Paddock remained in the room. No. Did he? Oh, yeah. There he goes. He drove to Mesquite on the 30th. So he could have dumped the hard drive on the 30th. That's when he went back to Mesquite. So the hard drive will be an interesting thing. This day is actually does get a little wonky. But for now, I think that's it. I think I'm good. I don't want to make these too long. It's already an hour and a half. I didn't want to go I don't want to do another 3-hour session here. So I think I'm going to get out of here, and everybody have a good night. And like I said, stay safe out there, man. This world's insane.